Hello, my name is Corey Wenman, and this is my presentation on self-checkout machines and the frustrations that they cause, as well as some design improvements that could be made to provide a better experience for everyone. To get started, let's first look at the evolution of self-checkout machines. The first prototype of self-checkout machine was developed by a company called CheckRobot in 1987. And the process was that customers would scan their groceries and then see an attendant at the end to pay for those groceries, which would cause bottlenecks and lines just as long as traditional checkouts. And this company quickly lost money, was sold, and eventually went out of business. And while it was believed that would be the end of the self-checkout, Dr. Howard Schneider developed what he coined as the self-service robot in 1992, and thus this became the self-checkout machines that we have all come to know and sometimes love and hate. And they gained popularity in the 2000s and were considered among some of the most technologically advanced ways of checking out and processing transactions until 2020 when Amazon released two separate concepts, which I'll get into a little bit later, that take a new look towards the overall checkout process. Now, the question is just because you can, should you? Now, for the consumers, one of the largest benefits to a consumer in using a self-checkout machine is that they are able to take care of their groceries in the manner that they want to. They're able to bag them the way they want to. They're able to unload the cart, load the cart, and handle delicate items such as eggs and bread and produce the way that they would prefer to. It does reduce also the wait time in line, especially when consumers have small transactions. The self-checkout line, even if there is a small line, the process to complete a small or micro transaction is much faster than going through a traditional register line. However, the primary design flaw in a self-checkout machine is that they can be confusing to use. There's oftentimes problems with the scales. Many people are intimidated by scanning and weighing produce items. It's difficult and confusing to process coupons. It's difficult and confusing to somehow void out misscanned product or enter in multiple quantities. So this is the largest design flaw that keep people from utilizing self-checkouts. Now for the businesses, there's also pros and cons. For a business, they're not actually substantially more efficient. They are more efficient in the ratio of transactions to attendants and cashiers, but the lines still can be an issue. And it does not drastically reduce their labor costs. And in fact, their indirect cost of the machines and theft and shrinkage sometimes are equivalent to whatever savings they may have in labor. However, nearly 75% of customers are using self-checkout machines currently, and 60% of the remaining 25 find themselves using it more and more as they make these trips. And it's projected that this number is going to continue to grow over time. Now, the number that people always are concerned about is that self-checkout machines are eliminating jobs. And this is fortunately not true. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of cashiers in the United States has risen precipitously over the past decade, even during the Great Recession, when overall employment growth was pitiful low. So with the rise of self-checkouts in popularity in 2000, over the next 20 years, half of that time, the retail cashier job still saw growth even with the rise in popularity of self-checkouts. Now, it is inevitable. Everybody has to go to the grocery store, but it doesn't have to be miserable. The checkout experience is still the #1 complaint amongst consumers, and the whole checkout experience and process continues to be something that market leaders have found themselves in a race to optimize the checkout process and make it as efficiently as possible. And while it seems though that self-checkout machines would be the answer, there are a few areas that they could increase to make a better shopping experience. For those consumers that are not using the self-checkouts for a small microtransaction, a larger bagging area would increase efficiency when they had multiple items to process, and they didn't have to stop after 5 or 6 items scanned to load the cart. In addition, if consumers were given a more empowered operational experience, such as things avoiding missed scans, adding in their own coupons, or being able to select quantities, this would speed up those processes and allow attendants to assist other customers that truly needed assistance versus just clearing error codes and providing overrides for quantities. And another design that would be helpful would be the addition of digital assistants or attendants, much like you would see in a home assistant or a phone-based assistant, that would be able to answer simple questions that would make the whole process more interactive versus input from the consumer into the machine. Now, Amazon has addressed this in a unique way by almost essentially just eliminating the checkout process entirely. So looking to the future, Amazon released 2 new concepts. The Amazon Go concept, which allows consumers to scan their account QR code, select the items that they're looking for off the shelf, and scan right back out and have their account charged. The Amazon Fresh Grocery concept offers both a contactless and still a traditional shopping experience, but the contactless uses smart carts, which use a combination of scale technology and QR technology that allow that when a consumer selects an item, it automatically creates a digital cart which the customer just pays for by scanning a barcode on their way out of the building. This is Amazon's answer and has honestly challenged the market to find ways to improve and increase the efficiency of the current self-checkout machines. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Here are all of the resources that were used if you would like to look further into this topic yourself.